Okay, let's do this. Been a while since the last league race I've done, but yeah, back to the season starts again. Um, so it's NASRS season 26, round 1 at Imola. Qualifying was okay, I think. Qualified 4th, yeah. But yeah, I think the main thing with qualifying was just traffic, because even getting out of the pit lane, I had to wait for 2 laps to get out of the pit lane. So I don't really have much mileage on the initial track, which is okay because the track ramps up so much that you really want to be doing your laps at the end of the session. But yeah, trying to get a banker in. I think first lap was okay. I think I invalidated this lap somewhere. But yeah, I think my best lap was right at the end. So go back a bit. Yeah, so just nibbling the curve right, getting the power decently. Little wheel spin on the exit, but okay. So coming through on the back straight, you notice there's a car ahead. I was kind of forced into it. The lap before was my first actual banker lap, and I kind of got stuck in this traffic situation, and I thought I'm just gonna commit. And luckily, he goes off, so that worked out fine. But I mean, that was an okay first chicane, I think. Let me go back and look. Yeah, a little bit of wheel spin on the or sliding on the entrance. I might have been pushing the car a bit too hard. But otherwise, okay. Uh, Yeah, I managed to get the curb usage right in the limit of the exit. Uh, a little bit wobbly through Tosa, but okay. A little early on the brakes, I feel, but okay. Good, decent enough through there, and then up to Minerali. Yeah, slight wheel spin, but that's okay, honestly. That didn't really cost me that much. And yeah, coming to Variante Alta. Yeah, it was decent. Not my best lap by any means, but it is a lap, and honestly, yeah. And so coming through to the final 2 corners, reverse a 1, decent, reverse a 2. Yeah, had to feather the throttle a little bit on exit there, but good enough. Yeah, so coming across the line, it is, I think, a 41.3. Was that? Uh, yeah, 41.312, P4, and as you can see, about 3 tenths of pole. So the way the track wrapped up was a bit weird. It only got to optimum at the very end of the session. It usually goes to optimum in the middle of qualifying, so you have a few laps to nail it. And with Imola being so tough, it's tough to actually get the flow going. It's actually quite hard to nail a lap in quali. But yeah, P4, I think that's the best I could have done. Realistically, because the top 3 are in another league still, and though the gap is quite close, much closer than in previous seasons. It was like a second or so. Now it's down to 3 tenths. But yeah, there's still a ways to go before I can compete for pole at tracks like this with the Lexus. Um, I don't know if that's even possible because it's not the Lexus's best track, but I'll take it. Best of the rest. I'm happy with that. Even if the lap wasn't perfect. Uh, and now coming to the race. The race was interesting. So I made like a one big mistake on the start. You'll notice that I'm in second gear. I hadn't noticed that because I went through the reverses in second because we went through pretty fast, I think. But Actually, I can go check that real quick. No, I just forgot. Okay. Anyway, so yeah. So as I head to the green flag, I haven't noticed that I'm in second. Um, and yeah, I just have a horrible getaway because of that. Yeah, the three wide. I'm in the middle. I try to hold it, but realistically, there's not much I can do, so I back out of it. The BMW behind gets a sniff, but nothing serious. Uh, yeah, so not a great start. um, and yeah, I think in the first lap, not much happens. Everything's pretty clean, and yeah, I think everyone's just trying to find their footing. But yeah, I had a few sniffs here. Whoever's went defensive, and yeah, this is where the move really starts, I think. So first goes defensive into Alta, but doesn't really lose that much time from it. But then, I managed to. Yeah, he's offline for Vatsa 1. Still on for Vatsa 2, but I think he makes a small mistake. No, it's just. No, I think the mistakes for Vatsa 1 helped me keep up with him more than anything. And yeah, coming out of the back straight, I just let the Lexus do its thing. Its straight line speed is not as brutal as at some other tracks, but it's still good enough that if you close the gap to like 2 tenths on the exit, you're probably going to be side by side going into the braking. Yeah. So the next few laps, not much really happens. I start catching up, and at this point, my thinking is just let's recover. Let's go. Oh, I made a small mistake there. Um, yeah, let's keep the start, leave the start behind. Let's get back to the front. Because I know I have the pace to be in P4. So now I'm chasing Popov, and yeah, I think when it's at lap 5, yeah, Popov was actually very quick. I was having a hard time keeping up with him. Um, but yeah, eventually, like around lap 6, lap 7, it's starting to get really close, and yeah, I'm looking for a move here. Uh, yeah, still, it's very hard to pass. It's like Alexis on Lexus especially. So here there was a move. Josh went defensive. Nothing much I can do. But yeah. And right here, how do I get the overspeed? Yeah, so moving to the outside to try and force him to the inside, but then I do the switchback, or I don't know what to call it. I did a Sebastian Vettel and pulled to the inside when he said he's going to the outside. So braked hard, just about made the braking the I8, just about made a corner. Not ahead of the apex, but I was alongside it though. Was that alongside after him? That felt a little naughty, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I was well alongside a turn in, made the corner, and yeah. From this point on, my focus is just trying to push ahead, see if I can try and close that gap. If they're fighting up ahead, that's something I can capitalize on. But then you'll notice that I'm faster, so I should be pulling away. But then you'll see that I'm suddenly struggling for pace. I have nothing there. I'm actually holding up quite a big train at this point, and you'll see that the gap to Batello from Popov drops off massively. So yeah, lost 1.1 seconds, and I'm clearly faster. So what's going on here? Uh, well, Discord decided to do a funny thing and take up about half my CPU usage. I found out that this is an issue like after the race, but apparently Discord sometimes just does that. It takes up 50% of your CPU. So the game was struggling for me. I was running at After I passed Pop-Off, for some reason my game went to like 40 FPS, and I was struggling to see where I'm going. And especially at a track like this, you need to be precise to be fast. Yeah, I just had nothing. I was doing my best, but I was a second and a half off my pace. And yeah, it's really unfortunate. And then yeah, in the carnage, Popov gets killed too. Yeah, I'm sorry, Josh. That was I didn't. That it's kind of a deck move from my end to get past and then be immediately slow. So, yeah, so Cuevas got past, but then he fucks up, and then we go for some. Oh yeah, hold on. I need to play this back in real time. So, oh yeah, I hit the sausage on Nako Minerali, so I'm slow off the exit, and there's nothing much I can do. By the time I recover the car, he's already on the inside. So now I'm hanging back and waiting to see if something happens. And yeah, he gets a bad exit out of Cosa. I'm sorry, Variante Alta. And yeah, so going into Ravazza, I put a little pressure. He messes up the corner. And then as we're going side by side, I just grazed that curb, and this is an unfortunate mistake from my end. Didn't mean to do that. But yeah, I understeered straight into Cuevas. Um, I don't know if I'll get a penalty for that, but let's see. I feel like that was a racing incident, but you never know. So yeah, going into turn one, I kind of just back out of it, partly because he has the inside, but also like I didn't want to push it. I feel like I pushed him off, so I thought I'd give him a fair crack. Uh, yeah. So now my game is really struggling. It's at like 30 FPS still, and yeah, you can actually see even in the replay, my game is glitching out because because the way the game draws your position, I guess, is affected by the frame rate. But yeah, it was painful. Beauclerc has been following behind for a while now, and so he decides to pit. And me being the slower car, holding up a train, it's a good thing if I immediately respond, because if I stay out for too long, then Beauclerc will get a good few laps to put in. He'll be faster, so I'll be stuck behind him once I come out of the pits. If I manage to get the issue fixed as well, I'll be back to pace, and then it'll be a really painful thing. So I pit the next lap. I'm actually like alt tabbing. You saw that little fluctuation in the RPM. It's actually alt tabbing out, trying to figure out what might be the issue. But yeah, in the pits, I actually managed to find out the issue. Yeah, that I realized that Discord is taking up a bunch of CPU, so closed a couple of Discord windows. But it still wasn't great. It was still only like 80 FPS compared to the 144 I usually run at. But I mean, good enough. Oh, I just realized the standings don't show in the recordings. Um, yeah. So yeah, a bunch of cars split. I actually came out like a few. So that's me, and I came out about 3 seconds ahead of Zach. I don't know why. I think he had a slow stop, but yeah. From here on out, it's just a recovery drive for me. I'm trying to push as hard as I can, because now that I have about 80 FPS, I can still drive like semi competitively. So you can see like 42.5, which isn't terrible, but I was still like getting my bearings back. And you can see the next lap, there are 42.1, so getting slowly back to my actual pace. Yeah, 42. So I kind of settled into that rhythm. Yeah, the rest of the race was pretty uneventful. Hi, editing Nathan here. While I was going through that, I just realized that this did happen. The car has a blue flag. And he has a bad exit coming out of Villeneuve too. And then he kind of breaks, and I don't anticipate that, and I accidentally run him off the road. That's 100% on me. If I get a penalty for that, totally understand. Um, yeah, I just didn't see it coming at all. I was a bit too focused on trying to catch Stork up ahead. Um, yeah, sorry, JT. That's my mistake. So you can see, so I'm up to sixth now after the pit stop. So the strategy was, I think, the best I could have done. I managed not to get undercut by anyone, and actually stayed out ahead of a pretty long train. So it could have been a lot worse. But yeah, from here on out, you'll see the gap between me and Stork is about 5.7 seconds, and the gap to me and Beauclair is 6.5 seconds. And literally nothing happens until the end of the race. It's just me pushing. So starting the final lap, where I'm about 5.5 seconds behind Stork, but Beauclair is like 16 something seconds. So I actually found I'm actually really glad I did pull the early pit stop, because yeah, it would not have been fun to be stuck behind someone, especially because the GTR is. Oh no, he's in the Aston. Sorry, the Aston might have been okay to pass on the straight, but yeah, I didn't want to spend some waste time passing someone. So I'm sorry, that sounds a little harsh, but yeah, I don't want to be. I think I maximized my strategy options. So coming across, yeah. So starting the final lap, I'm in P6. Nothing much else to say. It's I feel like my race kind of got undone by the issues in the first stint, but I managed to come back and salvage what I could. I didn't make any massive mistakes in the second stint. It was just like minor hitting the curbs or like slightly slidey moments, but otherwise very uneventful second stint. So yeah, uh, P6. I changed to P5 because Jorge left the lobby, but yeah, okay. I mean, that's an all right result, I think. Uh, Slightly suboptimal considering that I'm missing Watkins, so that was probably going to be my best race if I was attending, but fortunately I won't be there for that. So that's round two. I'll be back for Misano, which I don't think is the strongest race for the Lexus, but oh well. What is it again? The calendar is like, I think, Misano, Power Card, so Silverstone, Power Card, and I forgot what the last race was. But anyway, um, that's it from me for today. Yeah, all right, race, and just pick myself up, get on to the next one. Ciao.